recorded.
Yeah, I think Reshmi ji is listening to this, so she will be
Is
interested.
she?
Yeah, yeah,
Because she is
she,
anyway not participating.
no, she actually has written a section, sir, for our
I
soul.
know, but I
Is,
thought she is not participating because this Saturday onwards,
Mhm,
uh,
mhm.
they are doing some other research there in Kuwait.
Oh, really? Because she didn't inform me. She told,
And they are doing a separate research. There was one program that we were to start for people with depression and diabetes.
oh, okay. I didn't know this. Okay.
Okay. Then when they were not clear on how they wanted to conduct, because I had written day-wise program for them,
Mhm.
they felt it was too heavy, too long, and whatnot. Then I said, okay, you people carry on your own. You people know what is to be done.
Yeah, I think your level is at a PhD level, sir. And we are at a, high
So
school
because
graduate.
people don't understand fundamentals or what. Yesterday I gave a lecture. They did 4 shoots for PMC channel, the PMC English. I went to the studio. So they were asking about my life journey, and then I introduced spiritual tablets in my own way. I mean, they said, sir, this is the simplest lecture we have heard. So there's a conflict of understanding that's coming on.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting. So if there is feedback, please do tell me that, sir, we are not able to follow here so that I lower my standards to make things reach the other end. Okay.
Mm.
So hearing what the people have discussed, right? Let me add my 2 cents also to it. First thing is that in the thesis that you people have worked on so far, you have written about the profiles, but you have not observed them as deviations. So first thing is you need to cull out the deviations from in the 3 sections, the 3 categories. You need to summarize that. So there is the 3 separations. You have paragraphed the separations. You need to summarize. Okay. In the summary, that means basically you tabulate the separation. Each profile could potentially have all the 3 separations. Right? And what could be the potential root cause of each of the separations? Are you all with me? In some case, it might be fear. In some cases, it might be the guilt. In some cases, it might be the wrong expectations. Right? So, when you summarize each of those, restoring them to normalcy is the transformation. Now, these transformations, for example, root cause of any disease. What is the root cause from the tablets that you have learned?
It is deviation from the purpose of
Ignorance.
life.
Pardon?
Deviation from the purpose of life.
Okay, that is one.
Ignorance.
Ignorance is the second. Then, in 3 tablets, anything? It
Unscientific.
starts with unwanted.
Unscientific, mm,
Ah,
yeah, unwanted,
right?
unscientific, and irregular thoughts.
What? Only thoughts?
Thoughts, eating,
Hmm.
uh,
And thinking. Unwanted
think,
thoughts, unwanted relationships.
unwanted relationships. Yes.
Right?
Input.
So, you see, already while we are talking, we have identified about 7 or 8 of those transformations. Right? So, you will look at all those potential tablets that align with her situation. Okay. So, now you have identified what those potential transformations are. Now, how are you going to orient those transformations? Thought to reality. How are you going to manifest those? Right? So, warrior attitude, first thing. The next is the mental preparation, the meditation intent, right? Someone hand holding her and leading her into discussions, into groups, which is what the pastor did when he went there and spent the week with her. Correct. So, those are the transformations in action.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that for each of those identified deviations, when you start implementing, the progression into or the transformed state, which is reviewed at regular intervals, becomes the prescription, and when put into practice, that becomes the transformation. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. You discussed the same thing, but I'm trying to give it more specific thrust
Yep. Yeah.
on those important areas.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Coming
Yeah.
to sir, coming to use of this book, the supercharged this one, right?
Mhm.
So in this strategy that gets deployed for the transformation, right? First thing is you need to understand that our which is the chapter 3, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, before we go to chapter 3, sir, let's see if anyone have any questions on chapter 1 and 2.
No, I'm not reading chapter 3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So what he is saying is that the word awareness rides on 4 legs or 4 pillars. And those pillars are as follows. There is a reason. Someone said, I think it was Nivedita who said ignorance, right? No. Or was it Krishna Priya?
Nivedita.
They said
Yeah.
ignorance, right?
Yes, that's
Now,
me.
No, Krishna Priyaman.
another way of looking at ignorance is reason. What is this reason? This reason is I know that whatever the condition I am facing is not going to be permanent. Why? Because there is a regular cycle. What is that cycle? Joe Dispenza's circle of energy to matter conversion, which is atoms, atoms to molecules, to chemicals, that cycle. Right?
Yes.
So, which means any organ that is damaged by virtue of our woodpecker process can use the same woodpecker to build its nest. And that nest happens to be the healing process or the transformation, provided you let it do its job. Every time it has put in the base foundation layer for the nest, right? You put the foundation layer, you just simply take out everything and throw it away. Right? So, you need to have something that is going to help you eliminate that could be reason. All these are oriented towards the outcome. So, reason. Then he is saying emotion and feeling. Why emotion and feeling? We studied about fear. What does fear generate?
Low frequencies. Yeah.
Low frequency and chemicals. What are the chemicals it generates out of the liver and the kidney? Cortisol.
Yeah.
Right? Now, woodpecker effect with cortisol riding on the beak of the woodpecker, which is your thoughts and emotions.
Yeah.
Right? So, you are only enhancing the harm. Now, faith. Is faith controlling you or you are controlling faith?
Faith controlling me.
Controlling me. My faith says that I will never heal.
Yeah, the belief
Then we
system.
never heals.
Right? So I am letting my body mind take control of me, whereas I am not setting my or I am not triggering my archetype. The pattern within me which is going to take me to my desired destination.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Faith will never fail because it's matter of how much committed a person is to the faith. Because the thought
Not
will drive
necessary, sir. If my mental buildup is my faith, I believe I am not going to be healed.
that is your thought and
No, that is my faith. That is my experience, my belief system. Basically, faith is your belief system. If you have been encountering failure after failure after failure,
okay.
what is your belief system?
Okay, I'm not going to be successful.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
Now, that is what your faith is built on, right?
Sir, going back to the same, I think, pattern that we are looking at, faith says surrendering, right? Your faith also says that, okay, leave everything to me, I will take care of you. So,
provided I am not letting my ego take control.
so we are not surrendering.
Agreed. And I agree with Ramakrishna sir. I agree with Koti sir. But internally, right, I have an ego. I have a mental component which thinks that it is protecting me. That is the reality, correct? My ego thinks it is doing something good for me. It wants to keep me in comfort zone. So it says, Don't go anywhere near that, because in the past you went on, you attempted and you failed.
Yeah.
So think of life without that.
Yeah.
Right? So now there is a clash. Now, who is dominating that clash?
The
That is
emotion.
what is the fundamental reason for faith playing a dominant role. Now, your faith is against you, but what is your attitude? Is it that of a failed engine or that of a warrior? That is the fourth element. Now, it is not that they are not interrelated. Why is your willpower not strong? Come back, right? Your willpower is not strong because you don't believe that you have a solution. And why is it that you feel you don't have a solution? Because emotionally and the feelings which is coming from your past experiences says that that's what history says.
Yeah.
And that is related to the ignorance that you are carrying. So that is the relationship between each of these. In other words, all these four levels of awareness has to be addressed for your recovery. Are you getting the point? Right?
Yeah.
So each might have its own contribution. Even if one of them is strong, then that might play a dominant role. I would prefer that 10% is reason, 50% is willpower. Because of the willpower, 30% is this one, right? And the balance 10% is emotions and feelings. But in either case, that equation may change. That defines me. Because I have the willpower, right? Even when the entire foot was scrapped and only the pocket, the top layer of the skin was left intact, I managed to come out of that situation. Well, I was very strong on my faith, come what may. Same is the case with the author here. He says, what has the doctor told him? In your condition, there are only 65 such cases. Not one has survived from this condition. Did he survive?
Yes.
Not only did he survive, he came out of it and he became Brother Spina. Right? So now this helps you pave your meditation pathway for the recovery.
So one question, sir, Chandra sir here.
Hmm.
The author is already at a state where his mental levels are very strong. If you look at his willpower, when I'm reading this
Correct.
chapter 2,
Correct. His willpower, very good. You identified it. Very good. Excellent. Willpower. Using his willpower, he put all the other three under the control of the willpower. Correct. Now continue.
yeah, so he, even though he is surrounded by the negative frequencies there, with all the doctors and relationships and everyone there, he submerged himself with a higher frequency because he connected himself to the self. So that is how he was able to cope up with the negativities that are surrounding him and come
Hmm.
out of situation.
Hmm.
But rest of the other 65 cases that the doctors were dealing, they were normal people who are in a lower frequency.
Are you saying that this man is abnormal?
From the after 1 and
Actually,
2,
slightly yes, sir, because like from the
No,
childhood,
he
he
is
is
not
used to
abnormal.
astral.
He is committed to his cure.
No. What I mean to say is like, see, from the childhood, he used to astral travel, and he
No,
told
no,
his
he
mother
didn't
also.
know that it was astral travel.
I agreed. But then when he did not get a kind of a support from his mother, he stopped telling her, but he knew that he had some additional powers.
No, he thought he was different, but here that difference is not the one that is paving his pathway.
Okay.
What does he tell his wife, Jane or June, or his partner, June, right?
Yeah.
June or Jane.
Yeah.
What does he tell her?
He said, don't make sure that no one disturbs me.
No, before that he says, I will walk.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
That's a very powerful statement coming from a
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
who has been put on the bed and
Yeah.
who has been told that chances are you will never walk,
Yeah.
leave alone if you survive,
Yes.
right? So no one is able to give hopes.
Yep.
So basically, he has made up his mental status saying, I am going to come out.
Yep.
Sir, that is true. I mean, that is definitely there. His willpower is there. But I mean, I could be wrong. You can, but this is my thought that strength of willpower, that or strength of faith or willpower, however we say it, that he had on himself or his conviction towards his health, came from because his background, he had a meditative background, I would say, from previous
No,
janmas. Since
no,
childhood he had that. Sir, he said
no,
that
see,
he
you are
used to
presuming,
talk
you
with
are going
astral
beyond.
beings and everyone. So at that point when you're talking with astral beings and all that, you're obviously, the way we see life of that person will be different from other people who are not, who have not yet, I would say, I don't know,
Oh, okay, let
maybe
us take
crossed the
the
horizon,
example.
that horizon.
No, that is fine. Now, let us take his mental state to that of Margaret. Okay, I would consider Margaret to be the representative of any other normal person. Agreed or not agreed? Would
Sure.
Margaret be a representative for what you are calling a normal person?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So now, how did Margaret come out of this one? Look at Margaret's situation from the four entities of her awareness.
her faith took over, sir, from the transformation point of view.
Correct. So, see, that's what the father did, right? He said, do you believe that you have a powerful source above you?
Mhm.
Starting there, he showed her that that power was not outside her, actually, it was inside. That is what motivated, right? So you have to start with one of this element and handhold the person, right? That becomes the second approach.
No, in case of a Margaret, pastor was a kind of blessing in for her. Like he came and then he held her hand and walked her to
Exactly,
the.
right?
Yeah.
So you may use one of these, even as a counselor, you can play that role.
Yes.
Yeah, the pastor is a counselor in this case, yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So that is precisely what you should strategize for helping the person come out.
Yes.
Right, Lakshmi, the Talanki, right? See, This is exactly what we did with the person who wanted to become a mother but could not.
Mm. Yeah.
Right. So you have to latch on to one of the qualities of these four to give them the confidence. It's the same thing we did with the person who had the eyesight problem. Right, Lakshmi? You are
Eyesight, no.
there.
No, not with
You
the
are not
eyesight. No.
there.
No.
She had decided that she was willing to lose the eyesight.
Oh.
Okay. So basically, you need to identify which of these is stronger in the transformation. What is the transformation going to ride on? One of these four, right? And then as you make progress, how are you going to convey the progress to the individual? By means of saying, now you see, right? You are able to spend 1 week in the positive arena, right? Let's look at the reasons. Let's look at how you felt. Or do you now believe that you can work your pathway? That hand-holding role has to be the content of the meditation and affirmation. I mean, are you all with me, or if there are objections, come out with it. I'm happy that Nivedita raised the question, saying that, okay, others are abnormal, or Mr. So-and-so is abnormal, so others are normal. Fine.
Yes, sir, that is right.
So, warrior is a warrior quality. The tablet of warrior happens to be the first thing, along with meditation, that we have to prescribe. Warrior is the desire to live and live happily. That is the attitude required to come back to normalcy.
Yeah.
Chandra sir?
Nivedita, do you agree?
Chandra sir, is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right?
Giridhar
So,
sir is talking something.
Giridhar sir, when he talks, I don't know why he is in astral travel while he talks to us.
I will just complete.
Giridhar sir,
Okay, sir. Sure, sir, I
you will
come
need a proxy. You can type the message and somebody can read it out. Because something is wrong with your speaker system. Of course,
Sir.
you can always say something is wrong with your auditory canals, but it can't be so many.
So what is it about?
Giridhar sir was trying to convey a message,
Oh, okay.
is what
Yeah.
Lakshmi said, but
Okay.
he is always on astral travel when he tries to talk to this group.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So how you can each of these elements, how you can use is detailed here. You people can go through that, correct?
Yeah, that is correct, sir. First two chapters, I don't know if anyone have any questions, sir. We can go back and revisit. We thought today and tomorrow we can do a book club, so everyone can come up to speed with at least the basis or background of the thesis here.
Okay. So all of you online that recovery rests on four wheels.
Yes, sir.
And it is a journey.
Yeah.
I don't want to psych everybody with what he has done. But the four wheels, I am giving the following names, as in the book on page 70. 1. Use my head. If you have a car and there is a destination you are driving towards, but each wheel says, I will go my way, will you reach your destination?
No.
However much you may try. Right? So, orientation of each of these, right? I have to orient each of these wheels Would you agree? So the first one is use my head. What am I using my head for?
Guidance.
Capturing all the relevant information which will help me overcome the ignorance. And where is that source? Is the tablets that I have to understand. Are you with me?
Yeah.
This is what Koti used to call, let us map the spiritual tablets, the content of the spiritual tablets, right? So, using my head, trust my gut feeling. Know that I am being guided. Where is that guidance coming from? Step 1 and step 4. And also the Sajjana Sangatya and Swadhyaya, the wisdom session that you do in the meditation.
Actually, sir, here I would like to rephrase the words trust my gut feeling. The reason being that between the emotions and feelings, the patient guard is already on a negative side or the wrong side. That is why he or she is not able to move. So it is not the trusting the gut feeling is not the right scenario here. It is more of analysis of where you are in terms of your emotions
No,
and
but
feelings.
analysis could lead to further paralysis. If you do it under the guidance of fear,
Yeah.
that is why I said, trust my gut feel. My feeling should be oriented towards my goal, my destination, my recovery.
Okay. For clarification, when you say my, is it counselor or patient guard?
Patient guard.
Okay, then I differ with you on that because patient guard definitely is on a lower emotional frequency.
Correct. See, we just discussed one thing, Ramakrishna garu. You're missing. We said
Yeah.
Margaret is the representative, but who gave her the
Pastor,
gut feel?
Pastor, right?
Right. So in
Yeah.
this case, who is the one who has to do it?
Pastor, right? Yeah.
Counselor,
No, the
counselor.
counselor.
Counselor, yeah.
The counselor in the form of the prescriber as well as
Yeah.
the person who is going to do the wisdom session
Correct.
in the meditation.
Correct. Okay. That is why I asked the question, like when you say my, it
No,
is
no,
a counselor.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Know that I am being guided.
Yes.
You have to boost the confidence.
Yeah.
You're being guided
Yeah.
on how you can handle the objections
Yeah.
so that, or how you can navigate your steering wheel towards the destination
Yeah.
so that the wheel doesn't go on another direction,
Yes.
right? And now, the last but the least, the desire. Do you really want to get well?
Yep. Yeah.
What are you willing to do to get well,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You're going to play on fan that desire till
Yeah.
it becomes the only motivator, or that becomes the steering wheel.
Right.
Correct. Supported by two, which is the emotions and feelings. These
Mhm.
are the two wheels in the front,
Yep.
right? Okay. Or you convert it to a three-wheeler. You got the item 4 as the only steering wheel. Probably use my head becomes the dormant situation, sitting as the stepney wheel,
Mhm.
and the other wheels are following the
Yeah.
front wheel.
Yeah.
Right. So it depends upon how you look upon it, but riding these four, come
Mhm.
what may,
Yeah.
is what the counselor has to stress upon.
Yes.
Are you all with me?
Yes.
Okay. That is the same thing that you are going to apply. So you have finished putting together the transformation. The theme of the transformation is now ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? Nobody is saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody wants to give the commitment.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Agreed or not?
Agree, sir.
Agreed, sir.
They are agreeing because I am forcing with it. See, that agreement is not coming from within.
Yeah, so basically, the hesitation is coming from two angles, sir, here.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first angle is that even though we see Margaret as a basis to represent all the normal patients, this book was written by an author who is supposed to be who has presented himself to be a enlightened master. That is what we infer
No,
from
that is the
Shantara.
conclusion you are coming to. In the
No.
beginning,
Yeah.
see, if you are not yet finished the book, I am 100% sure.
Yeah, we didn't.
No,
Actually,
I'll tell you why. Why I am coming to that conclusion.
yeah.
If you
yeah,
go through those 7 steps,
Yeah.
right? Or if you go through Joe Dispenza, out of his 13 weeks to recovery, 9 were spent in his, I'm talking about Joe Dispenza, you are the placebo. 9 weeks were spent in firming up his approach. Because every time a negative thought came, he stopped there and restarted from the beginning. I was reminded of my days when I was learning poetry. My mother used to teach me the poetry, and I would make one mistake. She will say, sorry, stop, go back, start from the beginning.
Hmm.
Right? I literally saw Joe Dispenza repeating that, and in the picture in my mind, I saw Chandra Modali learning his poem.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? We have all done it in the past. Only thing is, we don't recollect that. So, that is the theme that is tying the 4 elements together. That is his pathway. Unless he paves his pathway, or the person who is driving the meditation session, the wisdom session, generalizes this approach for the journey. If there is no one who is doing that, there is no way you are getting there. These are all the obstacles, right? So will 4 obstacles play a role?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Now you see how many tablets we have already consumed. Have we consumed 10 at least?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did warrior capsule, then unwanted relationships, unwanted, I think, thought process.
Unwanted thinking, so that 3 tablets is there. The warrior, non-warrior is 2, 5 tablets.
Yeah, gut feel is there. Then
Right? Gut feel is there.
yeah,
Fear.
Fear is there.
three types of fear. Yeah.
Right? So all those, if you start adding, you will create your list of transformation. You have to first create the strategy, right? So the fist concept is there,
Yes, yes, yes.
right? Your strategy, your sincerity, and all those parameters are coming in. The 5 years from strategy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? So now what does he say? See, look at his experience. What he is writing, the harboring of negative thoughts and emotions is a contraction of energy. So, how he is using cosmic energy, how he is using, right, his optimal diet. The thoughts also form his optimal diet.
Yep.
Right? So, you have to pave the journey. The overcoming of the challenges is paving the journey. Okay? Now the journey has got 7 steps. Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Am I alone? Is my vehicle pushing you or pulling you? One of them.
Pushing you.
Okay. So let's go to step 1. What is he recommending in step 1? Only Lakshmi is using it? Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. So step 1, you are writing out a detailed prescription. Whether you have to join the meditation and help him in the first initial days, That's a call. I leave it to you. I did it with my PGs in the first stage. In my counseling itself,
Mhm.
during the initial days, what I would do is, after having explained, first 3 weeks, I would definitely meet them. Second week, third week, I would actually take them through the meditation, one-on-one. So much so that there were complaints against me. Chandra sir does only one patient per week. And after the 3 weeks, no one would come.
I,
Either they found that journey too difficult or they were released of their problems. They found the solution for them to practice. Majority of the time it was they found the solution. At least most of the diabetics, the change in diet itself helped them heal. Right. So now the very first thing, step 1, is the time. Right. So we have to help them identify the differentiation with I am the soul versus I am the body.
Yeah.
Okay. So we establish that we are not our physical body and we are also not our ego mind.
So this is where the rubber actually meets the road, sir.
Excellent. Excellent. And we will use Margaret.
Yeah, we can use ourselves itself. That
No, why Margaret is to complete the thesis. You become Margaret. You identify the Margaret within you.
yeah.
Okay. Now,
So how do we detach ourselves from the body, sir? That is one fundamental question that comes out for most of us.
there reason and wisdom needs to come into play. How did the pastor achieve the same thing? He does achieve.
The pastor did not made Margaret to realize that she is different from the
No,
body.
you are mistaken. What is the first question he asked?
Who made you broken is the
Correct.
question. Yeah.
Who made you broken? Right?
Yes.
And he also plays on her faith to highlight this.
So he increased her confidence, sir. He did not
How?
use. Yeah.
No, he said, do you believe that there is a God?
Yeah, he made.
And
her,
are you made in the image of the God? He takes you through that path, right?
yeah, he does take it to the faith path.
That is where he is now. We have to help them orient the journey in line with the destination. Are you with me?
Yeah, kind of understand what you are saying,
Hmm.
but the step 1, based on this book, he is
Correct.
asked
What
us
is
to
he saying? See, how is he doing it? Which is conceptualized character we create. So I will take you to your childhood.
so I
Tell
think
me one instance where you successfully executed something.
Yeah, a lot of things, sir.
Right. So,
Yeah.
is it the same you today?
No.
It is.
It
Is
is,
it
we
not?
are.
You are the same essence of yesterday.
Yeah. Mostly, sir, we
Then-
upgraded.
then
We
That
upgraded
means
actually.
there is something in you which made you succeed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There is something in you which has made you succeed.
Yeah. Quality. Some qualities.
right?
Mm.
That is your essence, not this. You are letting yourself, your essence, come down to this to say, I am a failure. If you are a failure, you should have failed there also. You basically confuse them. See, how do I put a break to your thought process, which is on the negative?
So basically, the desire was not strong. When they were successful, your desire was
No,
strong.
see, when you succeeded, you did not analyze why you succeeded.
Yeah.
But when you failed, you are putting the blame on yourself, saying, I am the reason why I failed.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to probably in your counseling, you need to help identify the positive quality of that person, which
Mm.
is there hidden in the 12 profiles. And then I will slowly build. See, if that is your nature, right, then who is this person? Who is
Came in the
this
middle.
person who is subscribing to failure? You have already
Came in
finished.
the
You
middle.
have identified the separation.
Yeah.
Are you able to identify the separation?
Yes.
Good, I am happy. This is exactly what I wanted in this discussion.
Mm.
Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Nivedita,
Yeah.
Nivedita, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Our first objection comes from Nivedita normally. Because she wants to think very deep. I'm happy with that. Next one, Krishna Priya.
Yes, sir.
You are in agreement, right?
Yes.
You wrote me a message. You know what to do now. Yes?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right. Think about it. I mean, it's not that immediately you will be able to. You have to look for the opportune moment, like the lioness hunting. Right? Okay.
Mhm.
Akshaya, are you clear? Are you with us? Okay, Akshaya is not there, is it? Only name is there.
She probably
What
is
about?
unable.
Huh?
She is probably
Unable to
unable.
unmute?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Or she must have stepped out actually.
I'm sorry. I don't know who sir was asking for.
No, I was asking
Akshay.
about Akshaya.
Okay.
What about you, Lakshmi?
I'm sorry,
I
sir.
totally agree, sir.
Yeah, this is a LAK. What about LAX?
Okay.
Sir, I didn't listen to the last 2-3 minutes, sir.
Okay.
Hey,
Koti, please fill in.
Yeah, so we were discussing on the step one of the journey from the patient guard, Lakshmiji, and
Okay.
one of the fundamental things is to identify that we are not the body. That is what step one is, right?
Okay.
But in case of
Basically, yeah, let me help you, Koti. Basically, you are trying to identify what is the egoic mind that you are being controlled by. Not your natural self, but something else, right? He beautifully says, EMI or egoic identity, which is the conceptualized character we create with whom we misidentify, not identify our immortal self. That is exactly what the person who has succeeded in test A fails in test B and says, I am a failure. Are you identifying yourself or are you misidentifying yourself?
Misidentifying.
Right? Remove the miss, then you are okay. Right?
Actually,
So,
sir,
yeah.
No, here I was really struggling from last 2 days on this. See, the reason is the PG has some problem. Okay, but
Okay.
name anything. Okay, and that is affecting one of his biological parts like liver or eyes or
Okay.
heart or whatever, right? So when you go tell him, okay, you are not the body, he's not going to agree.
You are not going to tell him you are not the body. You are going to make him realize that he is not the body.
So
See,
I
good, you raised that question. What did the pastor do with Margaret?
no, pastor did not
Analyze
say that.
from this perspective and
Yeah,
write
no,
a few lines when we meet tomorrow. Take that
Sure.
as an exercise, each of you.
Okay.
See, what is happening is we have that whole this has become like in Telugu that the Chorsi Bai ka khel. You are not willing to identify, though the thief is hidden in front of you, you have to identify the thief.
Agreed. The second part of my confusion is like in this book, he says, identify your desire. What is your desire? And the desire of
Your desire is to die.
no, your desire is
Is
for the
your desire
organ.
to suffer? So my questions, I'm asking the same thing to you.
No,
Is
agreed.
your
So
desire to survive and overcome the problem, or your desire is to live with the suffering of the problem?
correct,
What
right?
is your
So
desire?
desire is to have a better liver, better heart, better thing.
Correct.
So then what you are already
No, one
identifying
sec.
with the body.
Pardon?
Then see, once you say that, hey, my liver is bad and I need to be better, you are identifying yourself with the body.
So what? You
No,
are
that's
not identifying with the negative part of the body, correct?
Yes.
Right? Now, you see, in this journey, is this fixed or this is not?
No, that is fixed, no question.
Then this is fixed, right? No
Yeah.
question. Now,
Right.
whatever you are trying to tell me, if I break it down into these 4 categories,
Yeah.
right? Is it pointing towards this direction or it is not? Before this, suppose, right?
Yeah.
I put this box. Okay? And call this what does Margaret want to identify herself with?
Margaret wants to have a life without any allergies.
Correct. Now, to start with, she wants to come out of her situation, correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, her head says,
She won't be.
No, sir, I think, please give me a minute. Let me explain the confusion here. See, we all agree that the paradigm that you are not the body, you are the soul is fine. That runs on one way on a spiritual path. But when a PG comes with a physical problem, he is attached to the particular body part. And at that time, don't tell him you are not the body. You are the body. Your liver has a problem. So
I don't know
desire
why
is to
you
fix
are
the
not
liver.
listening, Ramakrishna Garu. You are
Ah.
not listening.
Okay.
I said, I am going to tell him that he is misidentifying himself. So let us say that I agree, you are a failure. Okay. But does it mean everything you have taken up in your life is started with a failure only?
No.
Thank you. You have answered your question if you go into the depth of it. That means you are identifying yourself. Though there are successes in your life, you are not learning from them. You are identifying yourself with the wrong thing. And let that dominate you. That is what I want to establish. I want to confuse his way of thinking, put an end to his negative way of thinking. How can I do it? He won't accept if I give my example, will he? Will he accept if I give him my example?
He will accept, but he will be surprised, but
No,
he will
he
accept.
won't. He will listen. He will not accept. He will listen out of regard.
Okay.
అడిగేవాడికి చెప్పేవాడు లోకువా. That
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
formula under which he is. That means the person who is from the person who is asking the question, the
Yeah.
relationship with him, the person who is listening will always think he is one step below. Correct. So he will
Yeah.
accept. Not that. I am not looking at it that. Will he identify? He won't. Because he has a barrier which is sitting in the fourth layer of his body, the astral layer, which is his emotions, his feelings, his faith, which are driven by his ego mind. If I tell him those big words that this is ego mind, this is not ego mind and all, he will not come the next time.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? So I will not take that path. I have to use my intelligence, right? I have to use my intelligence to tell him, friend, you are the same Chandra who was able to do this rightfully during your childhood. Right?
Yeah.
That is the Chandra. I want you to identify yourself. Now tell me, why are you accepting? They may cry, they may do all that in the counseling. They will do that. But all those feelings are slowly going away in the process, correct?
Right.
That's what you are there for. You have to highlight this and communicate and help them identify that they are wrongly identifying with the failure character within them, whereas there is also the positive character.
Yeah.
Right? So there is no question of disagreement. You are saying the same thing that I am saying. But, right? To you, what is visible? The failure character is visible. I am saying no. While you have to say that, you have to even convey the message that you need to identify yourself not with the failure itself. Right? So you have to help them identify from misidentifying.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the first part. While this is a simple truth, the finite human mind will do its best to stop you from embracing it. So you are going to ask him, what is it that is stopping you to go back to your successful self? Something is stopping.
Yeah.
Correct? You have to help you identify and eliminate that blockage. That blockage is not the real you.
Yeah. So he is hanging on to a wrong reason, or he is.
Correct.
his
That's
faith
why I
is not
said,
complete.
if you don't read the whole thing,
Yeah.
then you are not in step one. You are in the first block that is slightly odd shaped. The first brick of this wall,
Yeah.
right, is slightly odd shaped. So you are getting confused. You are getting stuck there. Throw that brick and put another one, which is aligned.
See, yeah. In further examples.
Okay, now read a little bit further.
Yeah.
Non-acceptance is how belief-based egoic identity protects itself from demise. It is a blockage. It is an obstacle. The non-acceptance with non-recognition with your original self is what is coming out here, which is common. Right? Just look at it. I faced a situation, you faced a situation.
Yeah.
what is on top of your mind? Right? You are still wanting to analyze why you failed.
Yes.
Whereas I have put the failure behind me. Okay, 5 toes gone, so what? Rest of the body is still there.
Yeah.
Let me move.
Yeah.
Right? So it depends upon the attitude. How did I get that attitude? Because at that point I had responsibilities. I could have easily said, चलो यार मेरा जिंदगी तो निकल गया, अब खत्म हो गया तो भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Right? But then there were responsibilities, there were commitments. I was committed to coming out of it.
Yeah.
Correct. So I have to bring out that element of one of those 4 characters that we identified, right? Which
Yeah.
takes us to the diagram that we created for ourselves. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This has come out very neatly. So are you with me? I just posted this diagram in our WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
So, Ramakrishna sir, let
Yeah.
me ask you one question here.
Yeah.
So, let's say I am Margaret.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I came to you. I am in a frequency 20 at this point. Okay. So, you understood the step 1 that I am not the body and I am different than body, a separation. So, how do you convince me at this point?
So actually, honestly, what I am not going to make a statement about you are not the body. I look at go through the analysis of reasons, emotions, feelings, what are the contributing to the situation.
You already know all of those, right? I am in a miserable situation. I built a compound wall. I kind of confined with my
Yeah.
diet. You know all those things.
No, I know. So, but point is we have to make the patient God aware of those things. Okay, this is what is happening, and then will you agree or not?
So
No,
tell me,
obviously.
Yeah.
See, obviously, right? So now look at the next para, which is in blue color. Read that. One of you.
Lakshmi Garu, that you are the best.
The
Not Lux.
Okay.
sorry.
The finite and conditioned human mind is separation, division, compartmentalization, and memorization.
Yes. This is the
It
ego.
does this endlessly with everything, including to itself, through non-stop analysis and judgment. You see, when you read the book, you have to read and think over what he has written till you are able to identify or deviate from. If you
Yes.
are deviating and you are convinced with the deviation, it becomes a parameter for our discussion in this forum.
Yeah.
Even without reading, coming to conclusion is a gut feel.
Yes,
No.
correct. Yeah.
So, right? So, it operates more like a parasitical virus. What? That thinking. That I am the failure. Right? Trying to divide, conquer, and subdue its host, the person who is involved. It perpetually separates and therefore can never see unity when it looks within or at the world. like in Telugu, there is, right? The jaundiced eye sees yellow everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
పచ్చ కామెర్లు వచ్చిన వాడికి ఊరంతా పచ్చ.
Yeah.
Right? So that becomes the lens through which he is looking at the eyes. And that lens is smudged. You have to make the individual realize that, so that he is able to identify what he is. He is not the diseased.
No, I think, sir, this is more from a, I'm just looking at it from a patient management perspective.
No, sir,
When
patient
someone-
management, what is your role as a counselor?
And that's what I'm coming to say this. See, when someone comes with a problem, my first statement is, okay, your problem is not unique. There is a solution. There are people who have already recovered from such situation. And now we
I'm
will
not
go
going to
through
make
your
that statement at all. I will say, if you come to me, you will know. Because you never attended a counseling session with me, you are making that. Lakshmi will tell you what we do. Right?
Yes.
What is your opening statement? Let them talk.
Yes.
Correct? After they have finished with their talking, you say, okay, right? This is what you are telling me. Shall I believe you?
Mhm.
That means everything in your life, you have only encountered this challenge. Right? So, how does spiritual tablets work? Let's identify and map your condition to how spiritual tablet works. Your thinking, your emotions, right? And your approach. So spiritual tablet says that if you are encountering a problem, either you can treat it as a problem or you can treat it as someone who has come to teach you something.
Yeah.
So let's take both perspectives and discuss. Right? Why has this come? Because you are now the observer. You are not the victim.
Correct.
Yes.
Let us observe and analyze.
Yes.
So you have to lead the discussion so
Yes.
that the PG is able to identify where he is going wrong. If I tell him on his face, you are wrong, it won't work. There will be once in a while where you have to use that strategy. Right? We encounter this problem in the teams that we handle in our work life.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody who has been appraised, who has been thinking all the while that he is the best performer, is not getting any raise. And whom he thinks is the worst performer has got the maximum raise. Now you are the manager. How are you going to resolve the conflict?
Yeah, we'll look at the metrics and the behavior.
You look at the metrics, you will look at the data, you will
Yeah.
look at what is supporting, what is
Yeah.
not supporting. Now, right, those two are the two scenarios of the PG. One where he was very successful
Yeah.
and one where he is a failure. So you have to identify that, and that analysis is because he is identifying with his ego mind. He did fantastic work yesterday, not today. I can't reward him on yesterday's performance for today. Correct? So the
Yeah.
same thing applies here. It is not anything different. The mother at home, she encounters this when managing her children.
Yep.
I mean, are you people able to relate to what I am saying? The mothers in the group?
Yes.
Don't children come to you with similar complaints?
Yeah.
And when do you say, yes, I agree with you, you are a failure? Will you say that?
No.
Why?
Because that actually
Thank
gi-
Thank you. I don't want the answer. I just wanted the thinking, not the answer. Right? No one will do it.
the cases like like when we have time, I mean when the patient god is having time, I mean for things where there is time or there's no emergency, but situations like sometimes it's like okay, if the
If it is an
something
emergency,
like
you
surgery has
to
to
the
be done,
emergency division of the
or for
hospital, right?
example a biopsy is out and of say breast cancer or any cancer,
Correct.
and then the doctor says, because there's a fear industry also, right, that doctor says
Correct.
if this
So
got
you
done
will work on the
it
fear.
will prolong
Do we-
so fast and something big will happen, whatever, blah blah blah, and it can
Correct.
happen maybe, I mean I don't know, it can happen maybe that way. So in all that case, when so much pressure is there on the patient, because
Hmm.
so
So you
then I'm
yes,
telling
I
them, okay,
agree
now
with the
calm
doctor.
down, do meditation, slowly it will work. I mean, all
No,
those
you are
things.
not going to tell that nonsense. What you are telling me, that is nonsense. What are you to do? This is what the doctor told you. This is exactly what the doctor told you, right? Do you want to come out of it? Where is your will? The doctor told this man, correct?
Yeah, but in this
Nivedita, what did the
case,
doctor tell him? Doctor
yeah,
gave him
that
48
he will
hours.
be bedridden. But in his case,
No,
there was no pressure.
no, you
because-
have not read the book in that case. He says, I am giving you 48 hours.
So he was also in pressure. Okay, yeah, then.
He was given 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I know doctors create
No,
such a
no
huge
cancer
people.
patient gets anything like 48 hours. He
I
gets
know
at least
that's more
480
pressure
hours.
on him then, yeah. It's
Correct.
huge.
48 hours. That is why I sent you the video link to where he reads the chapter himself. Have you people at least opened that video?
No, the video link I have not opened.
Yeah, I watched the podcast, sir.
I was hearing the audio.
No, the audio fine. He reads the book himself
Yeah, no, I
so
did
that
not
he
watch
is able
I
to
watched the
explain and
podcast.
stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, does he say I was given 48 hours?
Yeah, Koti sir is.
So, no. See, we have to be very thorough, right?
Yeah.
Because
Because I like this like in the hospital and doctors, there's a huge pressure on the patient at that time. I mean, this man was very
correct.
calm, I understand, but
Can there be
it's
more
very difficult to be calm in those situations.
Correct, Nivedita. But I was also given a very short time. In fact, the fear was not given to me. They thought I was weak. They went and told my family members. Now, I had to heal myself and heal these people also at home. Right? So, we have to be very committed, and the entire recovery journey is based on just these 4 elements. There are only 4 elements to your recovery path that defines your state. You are the chariot running on 4 wheels. Each wheel has to be oriented towards one direction. Like this came out so well that I cut this and pasted it as a photograph for you people to include in your solution. Are you with me, all of you?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Oh, we still have 5 more minutes, no issue. So what is he saying? Your identity is disharmony itself and can only produce further disharmony. When you are thinking negative, I can only add volumes and volumes of negativity. Okay, right? It woefully lacks any authentic power. So these are all the components, right, which define the mental state of the PG. You will agree with that? So what is your role as a counselor? So you have to see, right? Sentience, what we really are, is always aware. It knows, come what may, it will come out. It commands energy into your mental body. Mental body is the one that is today subdued, because the belief system is trying to overcrowd it, saying, the doctor has told you, he is the authority, he has studied for so many years, so he is the authority. Does the doctor know your mental buildup?
No.
On what basis is he making that statement?
Some medical parameters, sir.
Some medical parameters, some history, right? At least if he is a Google map, I will take his GPS. I will take him to be the GPS. But where is your GPS?
Yeah.
Your GPS is your life, right? So, which produces the phenomena called thinking. Where is everything originating from? From the word thinking. Thinking is simply the movement of the past. Thinking is not the future. It is thinking becomes prediction based on the past. Is present part of the thinking? Is present past part of the thinking?
Rarely, yes.
Yeah,
Mostly past.
It is only past.
it is
Yeah.
only past. Okay.
Because you want to think, but what is the basis? What is the foundation of your thought?
Past.
Past.
Correct. So he says the thinking is simply movement of the past. One cannot be the awareness of thoughts and the victim of them at the same time. Can you be both?
No.
Can thoughts define your... Can thoughts help you be the awareness as well as the victim? Is that possible?
Same thing.
If I say T is equal to past, T is equal to future also?
No.
No.
It cannot be possible.
Yeah.
This is simply impossible. What actually happens is we lose the self through misidentification with the creation of thought. Because you are identifying yourself not with yourself, but with the separation in yourself, which is one of those three separations, mind you. As Margaret, there are three separations that are highlighted. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right?
So what
So
are those?
what you have to do is, you have to take this book, read, and identify the same thing in Margaret. Right? So then, your egoic identity reaches for thoughts and other sensory stimuli simply to perpetuate and reinforce its sense of the separate self. Let me give you a practical example. I spoke about the wound healing on my foot. My father would see it and say, no, it is not healing. The medicine is not working on you. The the depth was almost close to a centimeter. No, it's not working. No. Then immediately, okay, morning I saw it was working. How come it is not working now? Then I will come out. Okay, for a moment, I have given weightage to what my father told me. Then my wife will say, she will superimpose. My God, it is so deep. I'm also scared. Right? Now, during those two inputs, what has happened to the natural process behind energy to matter? What is the quality of the matter? Obviously, I have not been on the path to my recovery. I have introduced a variable.
Yeah.
That variable has increased. So, last 2 days recovery has got offset. Right? Again, no way. I am starting from beginning.
Yeah.
Being persistent, right? So now what is he saying? What actually happened? We lose to that. This is why inner stillness and silence is death for the egoic identity. Inner silence and this one. How are you going to get that? What is inner silence? Subduing the 60,000 to 80,000 per day. What are they?
Thoughts.
Thoughts. Right? So that is the first. Stillness within stops your program of limitations from running. That is a program. So what is he saying? You are driven by programs. You are triggering the wrong subroutine. So obviously you are getting the wrong output. Yes? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you need to highlight that. Without thought, your belief-based egoic identity ceases to run its program. Without belief, there is no thinking. Are you seeing how the mind works? Right? For belief is the context for all thought. Without thought, your limitation program ceases to run. What remains is tangibly true freedom, limitless imagination, and joy. Right? So now he has told there is nothing inherent within awareness itself that implies ownership. There is no ownership of what awareness perceives. There is no ownership of that. Ownership is a concept, and like all concepts, is just an illusion. It is not reality. All concepts are mental fragments and reduction of oneness of existence. This is what the finite human mind does. It separates. It builds a wall and thickens the wall utilizing your faith and program. When I run that program, the energy to matter program, which is nature itself, is that influenced?
Yeah.
How is it influenced? It is running as a subroutine rather than the main. It is running as a subroutine rather than the main routine. Are you able to relate?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Thought
It is
is a
basically
delusion
poking your ego identity.
Exactly. Right? You choose your feelings just as you choose thoughts. The program or the wrong subroutine chosen, that means you got a program which is the correct program, but you have put a NOR gate in front of it.
Yeah.
You have put a NOR gate. So what are you getting as the output?
The false.
The false. You have put a filter of only the false elements to pass through. You are blocking the correct elements and letting the false elements go out. That is what is building your feelings also. Okay? Right? Think of it this way. The belief-based egoic identity judges and reacts, while sentience, while reality observes and responds. The egoic identity must react because it misidentifies itself with the experience. Hence, we become a victim of our creations as well as other people's creations. This is why you may struggle with control of emotions. This also provides a glimpse into how disharmony manifests within our body of originally pure energy. Right? Okay. So he is explaining, you choose the feeling you want to experience by what you reach for, but you eternally remain the awareness of it all. So this becomes the positive frame within that. You need to search for this. And just like thoughts, because you are aware of feelings, you cannot be your feelings. Are you your feelings?
No.
Then if I sit and dream that I am most successful, I should become successful automatically.
No.
Right? So you are the sentient awareness that commands the energy within your larger body of energy in order to experience these temporary creations. You are always aware of what you feel, which makes being the feeling impossible. You cannot be the feeling. The feeling is there separating you from what you are. Right? So, thinking that you are the feeling is also a product of deep-rooted misidentification. Just like thoughts, if you are your feelings, when they pass, you would also pass. But you are going to survive, right?
Yeah.
So, right, look at the monumental gulf between being and identifying. Both of them are very powerful statements. Right? So he has taken you through that. And he is telling you, the moment I misidentify myself as a drummer, joy and freedom are replaced by the concept that we have in the mind. With the conceptualized mental responsibility and emotional weight associated with the concept of what it means to me when I say I am the drummer.
The ego kicks in.
No, the definition, your understanding, your identification, everything kicks in.
Yeah.
Right? While I love drumming and I am a drummer seem similar, they are the difference between freedom, joy, and unlimited creative expression and the onerous, confining responsibility of a role. I play the role of a drummer is different from I am the drummer. So which one do you choose? Transitioning from being to identifying happens nearly instantaneously due to the control your egoic identity has over your beingness. So he is enunciating what's happening to you mentally. Are you all with me?
Yeah.
Right? So detachment or pure observation is required to tangibly and experientially know the difference. Right? I will stop here because I think it is 7:40. Are you with me so far?
Yes, sir.
So now you need to look at what this book is telling you in line with what happened to Margaret to identify the journey built on these four legs.
Yeah.
Yes, Koti sir.
Yeah. Yes, Chandra sir. I am a bit lost with the step one itself. So I
What
was
are you lost? You are saying that you have wrongly identified yourself. Identify yourself, not wrongly identify yourself.
Yeah, I think that there were three concepts that the author said, right? Misidentification,
It is only misidentification till now. And letting you tie yourself to that misidentification and say that that is what you are. You are the misidentified person. And you are convincing yourself that you are misidentified.
the thing where I am struggling, Chandra sir, is let's say if I am Margaret, right? If Margaret comes to me and if I say, hey Margaret, you are having so many positive qualities, you used to spend a lot of
No,
quality
if I
time.
tell it won't work. That is why the father himself sat with her. So, okay, tomorrow what we do, we have understood these 4 steps. Let's
Yes.
identify Margaret from this. Let's fill in the meat on, right? Let's fill in the meat on this definition and identify each of these for her. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's practice that one. Yeah.
Yes. All of you read Margaret and try to explain to me what is Margaret.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay? Okay then.
Yes, sir.
Chalo.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.